Hey everyone, welcome to Candy Apple TV. Today I'm sharing the journey of how I created these fun Beetlejuice candy apples. I started with a plan to use purple for my candy apples, but here's the catch. I ran out of 3 different shades of purple. I couldn't believe it. None were left in the bottle, so I decided to go for a soft pink candy apple instead. But when I made the pink, it turned out way too dark for what I envisioned. That's when I had a light bulb moment. I added some super red to the candy apple mixture and transformed that dark pink into a vibrant red spiderweb candy apple. In the end, I ended up with these awesome Beetlejuice candy apples. And if you're looking for more candy apple fun, I have the best candy apple recipe in my tutorials.
This is Candy Apple TV with DIY Queen Diva.
Making an easy candy apple recipe, all you need is your sugar, your light corn syrup, water, flavoring. My preference is always butter vanilla unless the customer prefers something else. You will also need your gel food coloring, a candy thermometer, and a
Silicone spatula.
If you do not have a candy thermometer, you have already failed before you even start. So it's really important to have a candy thermometer. I am using my candy apple recipe 3-2-1 for small batches. 3 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of light Karo or any brand of light corn syrup, because any brand will work. I've used them all. I always have to put
A teaspoon
of butter vanilla in at the beginning or I will forget. Now it's up to you if you want to add butter vanilla at the beginning or at the end. When you're making candy apples, always use gel food coloring.
As a beginner on how to avoid thick candy apples, do not use more than half a teaspoon each of gel food coloring. You guys, you mess up when you add too much gel food coloring because your candy apples mess up or they become too thick. You only need to stir this candy apple mixture 1 time, and that's right here at the beginning. Do not stir your candy apple mixture while it's on the stove because you're going to make your candy seize and mess up your Halloween candy apples. Once your candy apple mixture reaches 300 degrees, then take it off the stove, and then you can stir that second time to stir in your color. Now, I do have the best candy apple recipes for small, medium, and large batches. Those candy apple recipes can be found below down in the description box. Tilt your candy apple pot, stick your apple down in the candy apple mixture, rotate your candy apple, bring it up, scrape the bottom of your candy apple to avoid extra candy on the bottom, but since it's Halloween, some of you may want extra candy on the bottom of your candy apple, so just don't scrape as much. Okay, I'm out of this purple. Let me grab my other 2 purples that I have. I have a violet and I have a darker purple that I can use 1 or 2 drops. Your candy apples dry pretty fast, so you can pick your Halloween candy apples right up and start bagging them as soon as you're done dipping your last candy apple. When you're making candy apples as a beginner, it usually never goes as planned. Something always goes wrong. Well, you don't have to be a beginner. You can be an expert making candy apples and something goes wrong, because I am out of 3 different shades of purple. So now I need to go to plan B, think fast on my feet. So while I run to the kitchen to get a light shade of pink gel food coloring, let me know down in the comments, when you make candy apples, do you always have something that goes wrong or something happens? Just like this is not a light shade of pink. I am going to have to turn these candy apples into a super red using Hobby Lobby super red gel food coloring.
Now, as I am thinking, I am going to turn these red Halloween candy apples into like a spider web candy apple. I'll make the white candy apple into a Beetlejuice themed candy apple, and when you scrape the bottom of your candy apples, they look like this. For the red spider web candy apples, you want to melt some marshmallows in the microwave for a few seconds until they're slightly melted. Then you want to grab the marshmallows until it looks like a spider web and apply it on your red candy apple. One thing for certain, two things for sure. The kiddos will love this. And you're going to have a mess in your kitchen. But it was so much fun, so it's well worth it. I have these spiders from the Dollar Tree that I can just apply on the apples. They were originally the spider rings, and I just clipped the round part off the spider. You can find my candy apple recipes for small, medium, and large batches down in the description box. The most popular one is the 641 candy apple recipe, and that guarantees you a minimum of 12 candy apples. So you get 12 to 24 candy apples using the 641 candy apple recipe. Now I am getting ready to start on Beetlejuice candy apples. I have my white, purple, and green fondant. Pretty much I am just going to roll this fondant out, cut it in a long rectangular shape to wrap around the white candy apple. So now I need to make 2 strips for the straps on the Beetlejuice candy apple. When you apply this, make sure you have it on the way you want it, because once the fondant sticks on the candy apple, it's hard taking it back off. So I let this flap over and just cut it in the back. I use my button silicone mold and apply fondant inside the silicone mold and pop it right back out. If it doesn't stick on, you can add edible glue or just a tiny dab of water, in which I mean just have your treat brush damp. Do not have it with a lot of water or your buttons will slide off. Using this particular bow silicone, I am going to add purple and green fondant both to the silicone mold and then attach it with edible glue.
Attach the bow tie with edible glue. I really don't feel like fooling with that poppy paint, so I am going to use edible black markers for the black stripes. I am going to place on the straps here. This is not going to work, so let me go ahead and get the black poppy paint. The only reason why I don't want to use this because black can get everywhere. It can be a mess. This is much better using the black poppy paint. Just be careful. I will attach the spider that I purchased from the Dollar Tree on this beautiful Beetlejuice candy apple for Halloween. If you have enjoyed this candy apple tutorial, make sure you stay tuned to make other Halloween treats like my easy candy grape recipes. I have the 6-for-1 candy apple recipe down in the description box, and if you need other Halloween candy apples, I have orange pumpkin candy apples just as well as my delicious soft caramel chocolate candy apples. So stay tuned to watch my next candy apple tutorials coming up right here on Candy Apple TV. I'll see you in a few seconds over in my next video.